Hey Capricorns, welcome to your New Year's reading. I hope you guys are doing great. We're going to take a peek at any lessons that you might have learned from 2021 and your transition into 2022 and what to expect. So let's start by pulling some oracle cards, see what overall energy is surrounding this reading for my Capricorn collective. And the first card out that we have is New Life. Ew. All right, let's see if we can pull another oracle card. See what other energies are surrounding my Capricorns for their New Year's reading. And we have two that came out. We have transformation and we have relaxation. All right, so off the break, Capricorns, your overall energy that's surrounding this reading is very peaceful. It feels as though this may be a bit of a quiet time for you, but we have like literally two cards of profound change in your life. We have new life and we also have transformation. So there's a shift that's happening and it feels like it might have been super gradual, or at least nothing that sort of like completely rocked your world. Like, where the hell did this come from? What is going on right now? It feels as though this has been a very slow buildup, that this is something that you have been working towards, whether you realize it or not, for a very long time. And so it feels like going into 2022, there are going to be some pretty big changes that are happening in your life. And it may be in a way that's so gradual that you don't necessarily notice them until you take a second to stop and it's like, holy shit, how did I get here? Like, how did all of this happen? It almost feels like something that you wake up one morning and look around and it's like, well, damn, when did this, like, what? But it's almost this sense of you sort of looking back and seeing how far you've come. So let's dig into some tarot and see what's going on. So we'll start by taking a look at the biggest lesson that you learned in 2021. Wow, that slid on down. We have the Eight of Swords. So this is someone who is not stuck inside their own head. This is someone who is very decisive. They're very committed. They're very firm in their perspective, in their boundaries. This is someone who, they got backbone. This is somebody who has backbone. And so Capricorn, I feel like this is you finding your footing. This is you finding your voice. This is you being more deliberate, more intentional with your life. This is you making sure that you don't expend any level of time or energy on people who don't deserve it. This is you standing firmly in your beliefs, what it is that you want, what it is that you don't want, things that you will accept or not accept from other people. It feels as though you've sort of put your foot down where maybe you haven't before. So looking at your biggest achievement in 2021, look at you finding more of that backbone, Capricorn. We have the Strength card. It feels as though there may have been times that you have been tested, and for your own sanity, for your own personal growth, you passed with flying colors. It feels as though you have maybe figured out a different approach to people in situations that you may not have utilized before. And it may be even a situation, Capricorn, where it's like, if somebody came to you with shenanigans and drama, you may have popped off and started lighting them and their mama and their kids and everybody, like going back 5 generations. That may have been you, but it feels like you have sort of learned to pick your battles, and you have realized that there is maybe oftentimes a lot more power in controlling yourself than going to the nuclear option. So this might be, something where even though your inclination is like, I should rock this person's jaw, Like the inner self, the stronger inner self is like, you know what? Not even worth it. Not even worth it to me. And it feels as though you've also started gatekeeping in a very good way those people who intrude on your personal space, on your peace, even if they're family members, they're close friends, whatever the situation is. In the past, you might have sort of just figured out a way to live with it, to deal with it. I think that now you're in a place where you're better able to articulate your needs and what you'll stand for, what you won't. This is a part of you learning to get out of your head and enforcing those boundaries. So what you're leaving behind in 2021, we are leaving behind the sun. And let's clarify that a little bit, because that's typically the happiest card in the deck. We don't want you to leave that behind. We have the Seven of Cups in reverse. Okay, so this makes a lot more sense. Now, the Seven of Cups upright is a sense of sort of disillusionment, right? It can be options, it can be thoughtfulness and overthinking, things of that nature. But I think for you Capricorns, in the context of this reading, it feels as though you now have a different perspective of what's actually going to make you happy. So by getting out of your head, by enforcing your boundaries and sort of tapping into your inner self and tapping into your inner strength, I think that that shifted what you view as happiness and those things and people around you that help sort of lend themselves to your happiness. So I feel like you're leaving behind an old set of beliefs that's surrounding what brings you joy. I think that the things that made you happy in the past are not necessarily doing that. And that sort of fits in with transformation and new life, right? That you're gradually pulling away, gradually leaving behind those things that don't serve you, because you're shifting into a new being, into a new life. So let's take a peek at what's waiting for you in 2022. We have the Three of Wands. This is a card that says that your ships are coming in, right? This is a card of patience. And I feel like I want to say that Virgo actually just got this card as well. So what you can expect for this year is your ships coming in. All of these seeds that you've planted, all of this work that you've done in yourself, this transformation, this sort of thinking through what your life looks like and what brings you joy, those ships are going to start coming in for you. You're going to see the results of all of your efforts. Now, the biggest challenge that you're going to experience, biggest challenge for 2022, we have the Empress in reverse. So it feels as though, because this energy is kind of new, right? Getting out of your head, tapping into your inner strength, going through this transformative process. There might be some occasions where you are sort of inclined to put others before yourself, where you don't enforce your boundaries. It feels as though there's going to be a little bit of a test here to make sure that you are firm in what it is that you want your life to look like and the people that you want to have in your life. So it feels as though Spirit is saying, don't forget to A, nurture yourself, and B, be a lot more discerning about those people and those situations that you choose to nurture as well. Spirit is just saying, make sure that you keep an eye on where you put your energy. And I think that there's going to be some temptation, whether it's out of loyalty, whether it's out of habit, for you to put energy towards people, places, situations that no longer serve you. So just make sure that you sort of keep an eye on that, Capricorn. So the theme for this year, the overall theme, okay, we're not going to take all of those cards. We'll take the one that flipped over. And what we have for you is death. Death is transformation. It's the ending of one thing and the beginning of something new. It's a rebirth. And so Capricorns, we literally now in your spread have 3 cards of transformation, new life, transformation, and death. In the energy that's surrounding you and the overall theme for this year. So there are a lot of changes that are coming. I think they're going to be internal to begin with. And then you're going to start seeing that reflected in your external environment. Now, what we have for the advice for this year, we have the Hanged Man in reverse. And I'm fairly certain that another earth sign got this same card in the same position as well. But the Hanged Man in reverse is someone who is no longer sort of on the fence. So I feel like Spirit is saying that when you have this new perspective, right, where you're enforcing boundaries, where you're tapping into your inner strength, where you are thinking about what it is that truly makes you happy. Once you identify that, stay on that path. Make sure that you hold that thought. Make sure that you hold that vision, because that's what's going to allow you to transform. And you'll know that it's the right one for you because it's going to feel comfortable. It's going to feel easy. You're going to see things unfolding in front of you in very unexpected ways. And I think that that is going to be a part of this overall transformation where you look back and it's like, oh my God, like I'm in a completely different world right now. Like, whose life is this? This is crazy. I feel like that's what's going to happen for you over time, but you have to sort of find that vision, find those boundaries, and make sure that you stick with all of it. So looking at your transition from 2021 into 2022, we have the Knight of Wands. So again, this is a very consistent energy, right? So when it's upright, the Knight of Wands is a very fast moving card. It's very passionate. It's very energetic. And so we have it here for you in reverse, Capricorn. So again, there's this feeling of a slow buildup. So transitioning into this new life is going to be slow because it's going to require focus and consistency and dedication from you. But the good thing is that things that build up tend to be a lot more stable over time. They tend to be a lot more long lasting. So this transformative energy that's all up and around this reading is going to be something that's permanent. This is not something that, sort of popped up one day and then it's like, comes in with the force of 1,000 Vikings and then just like that, it's gone. This is a very slow build to something that's going to be with you for a very long time. So be ready for a new life because there's no going back once this is done. So let's pull a couple of final oracle cards, see what last messages Spirit has for my Capricorn collective. Final messages for my Capricorns. Okay. And the first card that we have is Oneness is my true nature. Let's pull another and see what last little bit of message Spirit has for my Capricorn collective for New Year's. And we have Focus on Success. So again, these two cards, the first one really has to deal with your sort of inner self, right? Oneness is my true nature. And we saw this with you getting out of your head and tapping into your inner self, into your inner strength. You trusting you sort of being more in tune with your energy, with your wants, with your needs. So this is you being at one with yourself and at one with the universe. And in doing so, you've reimagined what you want your life to look like. You've reimagined what it is that's going to make you happy. And remember this advice that we had from Spirit. They want you to be absolutely unequivocal in your desires, in the vision that you have for yourself. So again, they're saying lock that in. Let that be your focus. This life that you're dreaming of for yourself, keep that vision, because it's all unfolding a little slowly, but it's going to be in a way where your success lasts. It's not going to be here for a few days or a few weeks or a couple of months. This is going to be something that you can lean on for the rest of your life. This is a complete transformation in what your existence looks like. So whatever your vision is, Capricorn, hold on to it, because it's coming. So I'm going to leave it there for you. I hope that this was helpful, and I hope that it resonated. If it did, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. In the meanwhile, stay safe, stay healthy, and I am sending you all huge hugs.